Hello and welcome. I am so glad you are here today. My name is Lisa and this is my channel Cross by Floss, where I chat about my love of cross stitch as well as life blabbings. But this month, for the month of May, I am doing a special series called Mira May. And if you are new to my channel, I welcome you and I hope that you are here because you saw the title about mirabilias and you are interested in either finding out more about mirabilias, or you have some mirabilias in your stash and you're dying to get them stitched, or you are afraid of the mirabilias but really you've seen them in real life and you're like, oh, I really want to do them. And I hope to be able to inspire you to start a mirabilia. They are beautiful. Now Nora Corbett is the designer behind Mirabilia. She is also the designer behind Nora Corbett. She has two lines. They are equally beautiful, but there's a difference between the two of them, being that Mirabilias are typically a bigger, larger chart, more of a stitch count. Also may have more specialty flosses, more blends, more beads, makes them more extravagant. They are also one-off kind of patterns, and I'll explain that in a minute. Nora Corbett's, which I also love and have a great stash of those, and do the same sort of series as Mira May, but Nora November. Nora's are a smaller stitch count, and they also, many of them follow a line. So whether they are pixies or there's a lot of in a pixie series, whether it's pond pixies or poison pixies or that type of thing, or like the bewitching series, or there's a nice series of the 12 days of Christmas. I think it's 12 days of Christmas. Beautiful set of that. There's also the reindeer and Santa's sleigh. Like there follows more of a line, I think, versus the mirabilias, which are more really a fancy lady, or a mermaid, or oh my gosh, a fairy, or like a Santa, or sometimes angels. She's got a few angels in her mirabilia line. And so there's a lot to be able to stitch, whether you want to try something a little smaller, or if you would like to take the leap and do something large. So being that this is week 4, if you are new to my channel, I do have a playlist that has all of the Mira May videos that I have posted, I think since 3 years ago when I started this style of my Mira May, or my version of Mira May. There are many creators out there who are doing a version of Mirabilia May, and it is fantastic. Like, I encourage you to go and seek those people out. Some only do one mirabilia and they're just concentrating on that for the month. Some of them are going for their whips of mirabilias that they've already have in their whip stash and are working on them. Some are doing kind of the same thing and starting one a week. It's just really exciting to see a lot of mirabilia stitchers out there and a lot of mirabilia lovers. So I hope to be able to inspire you to start a mirabilia, start a collection of mirabilias. They're just really beautiful. So for week 4, so my prior 3 weeks, I have done a free chart, which was Me a Mermaid, which was a retreat piece for Australia in 2017. I did the Snow Maiden, which is a fairly current chart that was released in 2021. I also did Lady Mirabilia, which was a 25th anniversary chart release of Nora's for her 25th year of designing for Mirabilias. If you can believe that she's got 25 years of Mirabilias, they're just, I mean, oh my goodness. So, I mean, now she's got 30. She's in her 30th year, and I'm kind of hoping that something special will come along for her 30th year. That would be exciting. But for week 4, I chose another pattern that is current. You can still get this pattern. I've seen it on 1 2 3 Stitch. I've seen it, actually I got mine in my LNS back in the day. I do know that I've seen it on some Stash on Lowe's, and you know, for a very reasonable price, because it is still current. You should be able to get this pattern. So I apologize for the light. The sun is really bright this morning. So anyways, the one that I chose is Stone Roses. And you know, I just don't think that this picture does this chart justice. She's gorgeous. She is gorgeous. She was released in 1995. So, and her number is number 17. So she is a very early on pattern, and oh, she's just absolutely gorgeous. So what can I tell you about this a little bit? So her stitch count is 150 by 375. So she is a big long girl. She's a long girl, not super wide, but a nice long girl. DMC colors have been used. She has 1 packet of Mill Hill beads, which is lovely. There are 2 Caron Waterlilies, and then there are a couple of like mother of pearl buttons and some white ribbon, thin white ribbon, to put into the pattern. Now, I believe that if you choose not to do the ribbon, you can do just stitch, you know, that area. And then the 2 buttons are down here in this little divot here. I'm not sure what to call it, but this little ending here. So the bottom of the pattern. So not horrible at all. There is a lot of white in this pattern. I seem to be a sucker for white. I don't know what it is, but almost every pattern that I've chosen so far this month has had a lot of white. I don't know what it is, but there are 4 skeins of white to this girl. So, but I think she's lovely. Let's do a kind of a close-up. Like, look at that face, a very Renaissance, you know, Grecian looking. Oh, she's just absolutely beautiful. Now, it says that the model was stitched on 32 count white linen by Witchelt. Now, and there's no other, you know, sometimes on the later patterns, there will be like a conversion color for a 16 count Aida, but early on they were done on linen, and there was not another, and I'm not even sure when that started, that Aida conversion was put in. I like the white linen. I have a lot of white. I could have used an antique white, but because there is a lot of white in the pattern and I really want it to stand out, I chose, this is kind of a gray fabric, and I think it's going to look spectacular. Now, I am an Aida stitcher. I stitch on, I would say, the majority of my stitches, my finished, not even finished projects, all of my whips, I would say 95% is on Ada. And I do my Mirabilias on 16 count. I don't have a problem, or I have not had a problem with the silks, the Caron Waterlilies going through Ada at all. I want to say the beads fit fine. You know, I have not noticed anything different. Now, there are some stitchers in the community who will stitch on a 28 count, like an even weave, or Monaco. Is that an even weave? I don't know, because I don't use it. But which is a 14 count equivalent, and the beads still fit on there fine. So I think that it's really just your preference. And I know that, you know, that there's a lot of Mirabilia stitchers who do it on linen. And again, I think that it's your preference. It is your piece. So I think you should do what you would like for your piece. Anywho, I am doing it on this gray. Now, unfortunately, this piece of fabric is not available. It is a Fabrics by LJ, when I used to belong to his Fabric of the Month club and buying his pieces online. He has spectacular fabric. I loved his Ada and his coloring. And this one has a very, very, very faint modeling to it. And I just thought that it looked a little bit more stone-like, a little bit more, you know, what I would think stone roses should be on. And the color is Lunar, and I just think that it is gorgeous. Now, here are the floss colors, and let me see if I can get. So these are the floss colors, and as you can see, you know, there's like I said, 4 skeins of white. There's some pinks that are in her dress. There are some blues that are in the wall. There's a lot of shadings of this kind of beigey, rosy brown colors, stone colors, a little bit of gray. And so I think it looks fantastic on this fabric. And I'm looking forward to getting her started to stitch. So I'm going to go and do that tonight, and we'll see how much progress gets done. And I will be back tomorrow to show you tonight's progress, which I'm looking forward to. It probably will be small. It's definitely going to be white, as I will do a middle start on her. I could count down. I know that I want a 3-inch border, and I could very easily count over the 50 some odd spaces that are in here to get this started, but I'm not going to bother. I want to see some color and start in the center here and work my way up and get a little color, and then yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. Plus, if you have followed me for any length of time in this Mirabilia journey for Mira May, you probably have noticed that faces, skin is not really something I go for right away. So it's very rare for me to get skin and or face put into a pattern, so onto my fabric. So anyways, I'm looking forward to showing you this tonight, and I will be back shortly to show you that progress. See you soon. I'm back to show you day 1 stitching. So, you know, not a whole lot of progress, but progress is progress, right? So, as a reminder, I am doing Stone Roses, which is pattern number 17 from Nora Corbett Mirabilia. And I did do a middle start. As most things I do a middle start on, and that is what I've gotten done so far. So that is two thread lengths of white. So I am starting in her middle, and there's a lot of white in this pattern, and but that's what I've gotten done, and I'm loving how the white is popping off of this, and it's pretty good. So I hope that I get some very good progress done tomorrow night, and I will be back shortly to show you that progress. See you soon. I'm back for day 2 stitching, and yeah, not a lot of progress. Again, I know I say this almost every week, Monday and Tuesday. We just got so busy yesterday doing chores and working outside, and by the time evening came around, I was just so tired. And so really I did get a new color in, so that's pretty exciting. But working on Stone Roses, oh my gosh, she's already beautiful to me, like absolutely stunning. So I am doing a middle start like I mentioned, and let's see if you can see that. So see, there's another color in there, and it's kind of a, oops, it's kind of like a gray-white color, and but that's in the middle bottom of her dress. And so that's progress I got last night. Hopefully today we'll see how much time I get. I'm taking Mr. G back to the truck for his 5 days of work, and then Mr. Odin has a neurology appointment today. So there's a little bit of excitement going on. And then of course getting packed up because I'm going to the Teresa Kogut retreat at Craft Gallery this weekend. So oh my goodness, there's a lot going on. And so I hope that I will get some stitching in tonight, and I will be back shortly to show you tonight's progress. See you soon. Welcome back to day 3 stitching of Stone Roses. And I'm going to be honest, not a lot got done yesterday, and for a couple of very good reasons. Odin had an appointment at the neurology yesterday, and before we left he had a seizure. Nothing there, of course, but then when he got home, several. And so there's, you know, comforting him, cleaning up after him, all those things. And then at 5:03 this morning, he had a really, really big one. And so anyways, not a lot of stitching. But that I did get some in. I got another color in, and so she's kind of coming along with, that's kind of in the middle bottom of her dress. So not horrible progress, not horrible, but not great. But I am on my way. I'm packed, I'm ready to go to the Teresa Kogut retreat in Findlay, Ohio today, and so in my room tonight I should get some very good stitching done because I won't have any distractions, aka laundry, dishes, you know, all those things, plus the dog. The boys have him, he's gonna be fine. And then of course Friday night's stitching too. So I am hoping to get some really good progress done, because that will be the only stitching that I will do. I will do Teresa Kogut projects during the retreat, but at night in the hotel room I will be working on Stone Roses so that I can get some progress done on her. So anyways, I hope you all have a really wonderful day, and I will see you soon for day 4's stitching progress. See you soon. Hello and welcome to day 4 stitching, right? Day 4. I am at the retreat now in Findlay, Ohio for Teresa Kogut, and it's just getting ready to get downstairs and meet my table mates and all those things. So but I wanted to jump on really quick and show you last night's cover or progress. It wasn't a whole lot, but a little bit. So as a reminder, Stone Roses, absolutely gorgeous. Worked a lot of white. I think a lot of white, or a lot more white. So that is where I'm at now. Not horrible, really getting a good amount of coverage done. And yeah, oh my goodness. And I think that the fabric, unfortunately, with the light is not really showing true. No, but it's just gorgeous and it looks great with these colors. So anyways, that is the progress that I made last night, and after a day of stitching today, we'll see how much progress I get done later tonight, and then show you that really quickly. So I'll be back in just a bit. Hello, and I'm back for day 5 of Mira May stitching, week 4, and oops, as a reminder, I am doing Stone Roses, and she is just a beauty. Let's do a close-up of her face. Oh, she's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I have been at a retreat for the last 2 days, and so I did get some stitching done in my room when I came up later in the evening, and so that is where I've gotten to in 5 days of stitching. This week has been a bit of a trial. I will talk about that a little bit in my regular update video where I do my life blabbings, but yeah, the stitching, I would say honestly that for the most part, that's pretty normal what I get done in 5 days. There are lots of blocks of color in this, which is nice. You know, like this is a block of color. All of these in here are blocks of color. There's so far, very few confetti-ish stitches, which is lovely. But, oh, I'm so excited. So let's see if I can do, this. Okay, so what I am doing, not really good. Okay, oh my goodness. All right, so where I have stitched, I believe, is kind of in this area here, which seems to be the middle of the pattern. So you can see, you know, where the block of color is coming from in the pattern. Oh, it's just so pretty. Oh my goodness. And the colors are just, you know, when you think Stone Roses, it would be all grays and, you know, super dark blah-ish colors, and it's not. It is not. There are so many pops of color. Like in her dress, there is, you know, this corally red color, and then down in here there's these blues, and they're beautiful and rich and just, oh my goodness, I am sort of loving her, and I've had her for a while, and I don't know why I have not put anything on her even for a Mira Monday start. Yeah, but she's gorgeous. I love stitching on her. Now again, her name is Stone Roses. She is, sorry for the noise. Her chart number is MD17, and just as a recap, she is done in DMCs. There are no blends. There are a lot of the same skein color, like there's 4 whites. There are 2 each of the like 451, 452, 453. There's, I believe, 2 skeins of each one of those. Oh no, there's 2 to 3 skeins of those. So there's, you know, and that would all be in the dress. All of the kind of brownie shades, tanny taupey shades, that kind of thing. There's 1 packet of Mill Hill beads, so not horrible. There are 2 Caron Waterlilies, and then you need 2 mother of pearl buttons and some fine white ribbon. And I believe that if you don't, you know, want to do the ribbon, you don't need to. You could do the stitching, I believe, instead or just leave it off. I'm not entirely sure. For the Caron Waterlilies, if you choose not to, now I know I said this in my last video and I was mistaken. There is no conversion chart per se for Caron Waterlilies to DMC. But what you could do is look up what the Caron Waterlily is online and look at those colors, and you could find some of the colors in there and make a blend out of a DMC, if you're good at that. You know, sometimes some of the Caron Waterlilies have 3 or 4 different or 5 different shades of color. That would be more difficult, but you know, if you took out maybe 2 of the main colors and used that and were happy with that, then, you know, fantastic. So, yeah, you know, especially for the expense, if that, you know, is, Caron Waterlilies can be very expensive. They also can be sort of hard to find. I have been to 3 different LNSs now, and they do not carry Caron Waterlilies. I buy mine a lot on 123 Stitch. Most of the time, the ones that I am in need of are out of stock. And so, you know, maybe out of necessity, you need to just have a look at what the Caron Waterlily is and choose something that, you know, you can make a blend for that is appropriate for you, or just pick out a main color and do it that way. Again, it is your pattern and your stitch, and you make it, you know, how you would like to make it. So, and eventually maybe one day I will do that. In place of the Caron Waterlilies, I might just do blends, because I don't mind blends, and yeah, I might try that. So anyway, that is week 4, the end of week 4, which means we are closing in on the end of Mira May and week 5. And that means if you have been watching me for all of Mira May, you know that I said that I was going to do a free pattern, which I did, which was Mia Mermaid. I have done 3 charts that are completely available. One that was a newer one, which was the Snow Maiden, right? That was released in 2021. I did the 25th anniversary Lady Mirabilia, and she is available. You can find her. And then now Stone Roses, which even though it is a very early pattern, as of this recording, she is still available. And then, and so that now means that I will be doing an OOP. Now, the OOP, because in the States, Memorial Day is on Monday, which would be my new start. And there are a few OOP charts, being Lady of the Flag and, oh my goodness, what is the other one? Lady of the Flag and, I lost it. Anyways, you all know what it is. I won't be doing those. There are many floss tubers or mirabilia lovers who have done those patterns, and so you can find them. You know, my intent for my Mira May is to do something that is not always stitched, so then you can see that and maybe get inspired and want to do that, because I am a firm believer that the pictures do not do the patterns justice at all. I believe that when you see them stitched, you're like, oh my gosh, those colors are so much different than I thought that they would be, or whatever. And so I want to do that with an OOP, and also for any of the patterns, but specifically for an OOP, because there are a lot of beautiful out of print patterns that you can get. Some of them are an exorbitant amount of money, and some of them you can get pretty reasonable. And by reasonable, I'm thinking under $30. I don't want to break the bank on the pattern, just because kitting it up can also be very expensive. So So anyways, that's where it is. So all that to say, that means that week 5 will be an OOP. We'll see if, I love reading your comments, and if you think you might know what that is, I would love for you to leave a comment and see if any of the ones that I did in my Mira parade that I mentioned were OOPs, if you can think of what that might be for week 5. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed week 4. And if you are interested, I have a playlist of Mira May videos. And so all of the Mira May videos that I have done for the last 3 years are in a playlist. And so you can go and see those. And I hope you enjoy this style of video as much as I enjoy creating them. I so enjoy getting on first thing in the morning and being able to show what I stitched the night before. Sometimes I look and I'm like, oh, that wasn't much. They're gonna go, but for me, it's it's a couple hours of stitching most of the time, and that's the progress I get done. So. So I hope you all enjoy your weekend, and happy Memorial Day. And I will be back next week to show you week 5. So I hope to see you then. Until then, hugs and stitches.